Hello, I'm so glad that you could join with me today. I'm going to be doing a reading for the collective. We're going to start off with this Ace of Pentacles. You have some phenomenal ideas and you're struggling to get your ideas off the ground. The timing of this is critical, but this is the beginning of a really incredible opportunity for you. It's really imperative that you continually do the work and you continue to put yourself out there in the ways that you know how, in the ways that feel right, following your intuition, trusting what works for you. You're following your own path here. This isn't going to be something that's a copycat of someone else. You're not going to be needing to steal someone's quotes from a comment to create a meme and post it on your own page. Mars retrograde is getting me too, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel a little bit snippy snappy. And Spirit keeps reminding me that the focus is on the work. The focus is on the work. The focus is on the work. I don't have to worry about what other people are doing. It's my work that is pushing off. It's my work that is propelling me. And when I stay focused and connected to my work, when I take these ideas, these are the ideas that are going to push forward in my endeavors. These are the ones that are going to lead to success. It is just the starting point. It's just the kickoff point. But that doesn't mean that what you're doing isn't working. It's just there's so many things behind the scenes coming together. Now, that being said, some of us are feeling a little snappy. I definitely have this, don't get too close right now, and watch your words, watch what you're saying. I'm going to protect what's mine, and so are you. We're not going to let anything detour us. We're not going to let anything get in the way of this. That said, we also have to be wary of what we may perceive as a threat that isn't necessarily a threat to our well-being, isn't necessarily a threat to our endeavors. Obviously, we're going to keep our family close. We're being very careful and cautious about who we're speaking to. I think it's of the utmost importance that we don't share all the details of what's on our minds and what's happening in our lives with most people. I think right now it's kind of like a keep it inside. Stay close to you and yours. Keep them safe and protected, and try to gauge your energy before you just lash out, because I and again, this is so many of these cards speak to me personally. Obviously, it happens for every reader. We get these little, it's a little bit of something here for all of us as well. But I'm feeling this so strongly. Like, I just want people to quit messing with what I'm trying to do. Just get out of the way. If you're not going to help me, go. if you're not on board with this, if you're not a part of this, then you're taking up space and you're taking up my energy. But Spirit's here to remind us that it's actually us that choose what we're doing with our energy. And so we do need to be a little bit more aware and wise about the things that we're letting kind of take us off course. Even if it's just in your head, even if you're having those arguments in your head with people. I'm getting from Spirit, I am not alone in that. You're having like whole conversations with people where you were just telling them what you've got to say. And it's okay, it's in your head, but you don't need to spend like that much time. Like, really try to detour yourself, get back to the work, open up that book, do your studies, do whatever you need to be doing, so that we can stay kind of focused and guided on what we're actually trying to achieve here, which is the important stuff. We've got a 9 of Pentacles here. Things are going to be really good. It's just a matter of persistence. This is the result of persistent work. You recognizing, or you being recognized for your success, you being acknowledged for the work that you've done, being celebrated for the work that you've done, finally seeing some financial relief. A lot of us, I'm getting a lot of earth signs, are going to be feeling some financial relief. I feel like earth signs have been struggling the most with that, and as well as some of our fire signs have been feeling the financial crunch. But as we come into the season, this probably speaks to more than just earth and fire signs. I would imagine this speaks to many people. So this is our sign that you need to keep going. It's working out exactly the way it needs to. It's all coming to fruition. It's all coming in the time that you need it. It will come in perfect timing. better than I expected. When I'm doing my ritual work, when I'm doing my mantras, when I'm doing manifesting work, when I'm praying, you can call it whatever you like, it doesn't matter to me. I always like to add in it's in perfect timing, so that I feel that sense of just relief, and I feel so good, and then I can just continue on and keep focusing, and it's better than I ever expected. You don't want to limit yourself to your possibilities of just what you can imagine, because our limitations in our mind are much greater than the universe sees for us. So make sure that you're allowing for that space to be better than you expected. Our next one, we're coming up here, got some things that we feel are blocking our ability, but it's really truly only a sense of timing. It's any blockages that you might feel right now are entirely coming from within. They're entirely keeping you feeling inadequate. They're making you feel like you're not enough, you haven't done enough, you haven't pushed long enough, it's going to take too long, that other people are better than you, that these are all just like falsehoods spinning around in your mind, and it's the only thing that's really truly keeping you from accomplishing and seeing them. Some of the opportunities that are going to come to you feel like they are too early, like you're not ready for them, and Spirit wants you to shut all of that down. You're here to accept these opportunities, and they did not present themselves to you too early. There's no such thing. It's in perfect timing. The only person that's going to cause a problem for yourself or inhibit your progress is you. And unfortunately, we often do that. But this is an issue, again, of just taking these moments to like recollect, clear your mind, clear your intuition, do some meditating, and wait for the perfect timing. Wait for it to occur. Take your opportunities when they're presented to you, but don't chase anything. You don't need to chase anything that's meant for you. My final card here that pops up here, we've got the High Priestess. We are, again, more than capable, but even more importantly, we're being divinely guided through this path. This path has become everything that we had ever hoped for, and even though we are still early on this journey, we already know how fulfilling it is. It feels right. It feels like what we're supposed to be doing. It feels like everything that, so why aren't we trusting it? You have all of this coming into you. All of these messages are being downloaded. All of the information that you need is at your fingertips. Everything that needs to happen for you happens in the perfect timing. And you've been on this path since the day you were born. It's been foretold. It was here long ago. It's always been who you are. Interesting conversation. The first one I pulled here, we're taking risks. So there are some opportunities that come up that seem like they are too big, that they're too much, that they've come too soon, that they've come too quickly, that you're not prepared for them. There's no way you can possibly accomplish this. I don't know how I'm going to accomplish this. And there's all of those thoughts stirring around in your mind. Meanwhile, Spirit is saying that literally everything that you've done up until this point was a risk. You've taken so many of them. Why do you feel that this is a risk now? You're more experienced, you're wiser, you're more seasoned, you know your limitations, and also you know what you're capable of. And it's usually more than what you thought you were capable of doing. So Spirit wants to know, why is it that you're so afraid of putting yourself out there? You have to put yourself out there. No, we're not chasing things that don't belong to us. But when the opportunities present themselves for you to speak up, for you to use your voice, for you to take action, for you to push forward, for you to do something, you're hesitating. Well, there's no need for you to hesitate. You are showing Spirit that you are ready by trusting the process and by saying, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for the risk. And I know that, without a little bit of putting myself out there, I'm not going to get that reward I want. I need to have both of these things in order to have balance. So additionally, we've come up with this release card. And with that, it's asking you to trust the process. It's asking you to recognize that you had occupied space in your life by things that were actually inhibiting your growth and inhibiting your potential. And it is your responsibility to identify those things. I'm getting, you've got some watchers that they are so envious of what you've accomplished. They're so envious of your energy and the work that you put in, that the way that you consistently put yourself out there, the way that you're willing to take these risks, the way that you're willing to do it your own way. And they don't like it. And so they sit there with all that negative energy, every time you post, every time you say something, it just gets pushed back. Spirit wants us to let these people go. The block button is your best friend right now. Go ahead and ignore that phone call. You don't have to reply to that text. You don't have to say to whom it may concern in that email. All we need to do at this point is say, oh, this is one of those things Spirit was talking about right here. The way that it makes me feel, the way that it triggers me. I'll sit with it for a minute and think about how long it's done that. Think about how long has it changed? Has it been that way always? Are you just being reactive right now? Or is it really that it's always been this way? Those people can go. They don't need to be in your space. They don't need to be in your energy. And matter of fact, if they happen to be watching this video, go find something to do. Go worry about yourself. Go focus on your own endeavors. If you're so wonderful and your ideas are so great, then why aren't they working for you? Why aren't you out there working on yourself? If you think everything that someone else is doing is just a reproduction of something that you've done, well then why isn't yours working? Why isn't yours successful? You know? Let's sit there and be realistic about why these people are watching, why these people are obsessed with what you're doing. It's because you are the mark of success, because you do have the tenacity and the energy to keep going. It's time to let them go. And it's time to let go of the expectations that these other people have of you, and it's time to let go of the expectations that you have of yourself. Why are you having these limited expectations of yourself and not just trusting the process and not just doing the work every day and not just continuing to push forward and putting that behind you? Now, understandably, the energy right now is tricky. It's because we just want to say something back. I got words for these people, but that doesn't do me any good. It's not helping me in what I'm trying to accomplish. Instead, I'm recognizing that I need to focus on the things that I'm focused on, and that means that I need to let go of a lot of things that aren't in alignment with that, including my own preconceived notions of what success is and what this means for me. I need to just open myself up and allow Spirit to guide me the way. It's gotten me this far. This trickster energy isn't going to throw me off course now. I'm not going to let that happen. Okay? So, no risk, no reward, and let it all go. Including when you do inevitably stumble on a little something, when you inevitably have a little tiny struggle, let that go too. And keep going anyway. Keep pushing anyway. You're not supposed to let every little fumble, every little pit hole in the process throw you off course. You're not ready for it, what Spirit wants for you, if you allow that to occur. Spirit wants you to let all these things go. Let these expectations go. Let anything go that doesn't serve you. Focus on yourself and what you're trying to accomplish. Focus on putting yourself out there. And yes, it might feel a little risky. You might feel a little exposed and a little vulnerable, but it is exactly what you are being guided to do. I would absolutely love if you come across this message. If this message is exactly what you needed to hear, please follow me. Hit that little bookmark. It helps me tremendously. Leave a comment and let me know how you feel. We have our Divine Feminine and Wait. This is our reception message. So it's not yet time. Things are still being woven. The Divine Feminine, that magnetic receptive power. We're going to continue right along with the same message that's being delivered today. You are in your element. You are doing the work. You are focusing on the work. And as long as you continue to focus on the work, as long as you continue to receive, you continue to allow, you don't allow things to detour you, you are still in the process of receiving this. It's all coming towards you. Now, Spirit wants to remind us that divine timing doesn't mean when you want it. Divine timing means when it's time, when it's right, when you're ready for it. And as long as we stay in this feminine receptive power, as long as we continually focus on ourselves, on being the better person that we want to be, on who it is that we know that we are, in that constant quest of improvement, of managing our emotions and balancing our lives, in recognizing our place and what is for us, in practicing the art of releasing. All of these features is what Spirit sees as our preparation for these beautiful gifts to come through. This is the practice work. This is the effort until it gets to where it's natural and normal. The most difficult thing to feel when you are waiting is compassion. Because the impatience makes you feel as though there is just not enough time in the world. It's I'm sitting here and I wait for what? What am I waiting for? What's not here yet? And you're just overthinking instead of the doing and the being. So Spirit wants us to step back away today, and we're going to take some personal time to relax, to reflect. You're going to do some meditation. You're going to do some cleansing. Today is a day of peace. We're going to allow what occurs to us. We're going to allow these opportunities to present themselves by not forcing it, by not pushing it, by not demanding it, by just recognizing that there are plenty of things that we can still be working towards and working on that will help us focus our mind on the things that we can focus on and the things that we are supposed to be working on. For some of you, I'm getting there's a lot of cleaning that needs to be done today. I spent a great deal of time yesterday doing some cleaning work, which only alerted me to more cleaning work that I felt just was inadequate. And it's a consistent battle. Like, it's something that we do every single day. But then you also know that you kind of have to take time to dig into the different aspects of cleaning. Cleaning house is a metaphor, and it's a literal thing. I'm getting the closets. The closets are just stuffed full of things that you're going to someday use. No, they're not necessary, and they're just taking up space. They're collecting dust, they're clutter. You look at that, your mind is cluttered. Anywhere that you feel like it's just not organized can be a distraction, and these distractions are frustrating, and then the frustrations is what makes us feel impatient. So instead, when we focus on these things that actually are working, doing, accomplishing in little tiny ways, just little tiny bites every single day, we are opening up that mental space, we're opening up that emotional space, and allowing the things that do matter to come in. We're clearing out the mental clutter, we're clearing out the physical clutter, which is opening up and allowing us to receive. These things do take time, as does the process of cleaning out. So while you're cleaning your clutter, know that you're opening up and allowing Spirit to try and make these things come through for you. It's just as critical that we allow that time and space by doing the work of releasing as well. I'm going to do one final card for the read today. We've got our new beginnings. This is a very new process for you. Everything that you've gone about in the past was done very differently. And in fact, everything that you're doing this way is differently than you've done it in the past. You're making a concerted effort to access parts of yourself that you've never accessed before, to allow yourself to be who you were meant to be, which in a lot of ways feels like a brand new person. being a brand new version of you requires a tremendous amount of patience, because you don't know how to be that new person yet. And so there's going to be moments where you may fall back on some of these old patterns. There may be moments that you fall back on these ways of thinking, and the energy that was prohibiting you from pushing forward before. So in a lot of ways, this new beginning is an opportunity for you to also treat yourself with a different kind of energy, and to trust yourself that it's not going to be a new beginning if I continually fall back on old patterns. I want this opportunity. I want it to be fresh. And so for that, I need to allow myself the time and space to figure out who that is, and be in high anticipation of it as it comes to me, as I receive it, without having these ideas kind of smothered over it of what it should be or how it should look. It's new. It's supposed to be new. It's supposed to be fresh. It's an opportunity for you to begin again. It's an opportunity for you to push forward with your ideas. All of the cards that came up today were about your endeavor being successful. And it's all about you continuing the work on that endeavor and not falling back on these old patterns. It all has to do with you cleaning out the old and removing the old so that there's room for the new. It has to do with you being patient about the process and the timing of things, which may also be very new to you. But all of this preparation and all this work has brought you to this point where you're finally starting to see the potential. You're seeing where you're headed with this. You're seeing the sunrise and all this opportunity that you've been praying for, that you've been manifesting for. It's all coming into fruition, and it all comes at the timing that is just perfect. So with this timing and with this evolving of in your own personal growth and your own personal healing, we want to make sure that we're infusing that with a lot of patience and love and understanding and compassion for others. It's a very frustrating time for a lot of people. They're just starting to get to know who they are as well. And so if we can also enact that part of the self where we recognize ourselves in others, that's going to be another new opportunity for us to unlock that next phase, that next part of ourself that we've always admired in others, that we've always taken as a valuable asset, and being able to do that. And that can be yours. It's yours as well. Allow the new beginnings to come through. Allow them to become the fullest that they can become without making demands on what these are. Allowing yourself to be a part of the process, to evolve into that new self, to start over as that new self as well.